This is not going to hurt a bit.
HR and I are going to take really good care of you. I scrubbed up.
So, you're here to hear some stories. I'm here to get these gloves on.
You can do it. They're powdered. They're powdered.
Powdered?
Okay, some of us are a little smarter than others.
I'm an artist. So this is an evening of true stories. Now true, and you get real postmodern about it, like memory is unreliable, people shade events, sometimes they will move the events around to make a better story, they might embellish, all that, blah, blah, blah. But if you as a person can stand there and say, this story is about...
And for me, it was pregnancy. So I'm 6.5 months pregnant with my second child. My first child is a year old. I'm hospitalized with preterm labor. I've been hospitalized 3 previous times. They sent me home on Tributylin every 4 hours and bed rest. I live in a second floor of a 2-family.
The building was a shack. I went to the front door, which, by the way, was mounted on rusted hinges, and forced it open, stuck my head inside, and I scanned the office, looking for jars of leeches or potions, but there were none. And a doctor emerged out of nowhere, and he had a kind face and manner. He gave me a polite namaste.
I think, okay, let me go see if I get a heads up. And I head towards the radiology lab, and out walks a very attractive young woman. And for a second I indulge in her attractiveness until I realize she's got a very concerned
chair. And the doctor says, "Can you count to 10? And I'm so smart, I said, "Yeah." And he puts this stuff over my a little cloth that smelled funny. And I go, 1, 2, and I'm out. And I wake up in my parents' bed, and I'm told I can have all the ice cream I want. Well, at 2 years old, what do you know about carbohydrates?
So I would often turn and look and watch the trucks and the cement and everything happening and wonder about what was going on with that. So on this particular day, it was like, no.
With, squinting eyes, tell me exactly how did this happen? Well, we're not quite sure. I think it was a bunk bed accident. Oh, so he fell on the floor? He fell from the bunk bed. Oh, well, actually, no. He fell into the bunk bed. He fell into the bunk bed? Well, let me look at his knee. I think he's just, I say to her, I think he's just dislocated. It's just...
Who I met doing the slut cracker, but she has many credentials. She's working on a master's degree in expressive arts.
I was going to travel to Europe and beyond and sow my wild oats, which I couldn't do back in Brooklyn. Get out of the army, London, Big Ben, Buckingham Palace, London Bridge, oats. Urologist, that's the guy I need, Dr. Weissman. Walk in, Dr. Weissman, very, very Germanic manner, voice. Where are you from? I'm from the United States.
And I'm from New Jersey, so everybody get really drunk. And so it was 2001, I think, and I was 14 years old, and I had my first boyfriend, Andrew Bean, and he came to the family party, and so did 2 of my girlfriends. And it got to be around midnight, and everybody was nicely, intoxicated, and I wasn't, I was 14. But his mom came to pick him up, and they have one of those big conversion vans, like the kind with the lights that are along the top, and she pulls up into the driveway, and I walk out with him to his car, and he's sitting in the passenger seat, and I'm having a conversation with his mom. So the way the conversion van is, his lap is about up to my chest. So I'm kind of like leaning on his lap talking to his mom. And his dog jumps up on his lap. And she's small, she's a Westie, a little white West Highland Terrier. Her name is Cleo. And I say, "Hi, Cleo." And then she bites my face.
Yesterday we were at the beach, zooming in and out on urns and the piano and the couch that nobody's sitting on, and he's been walking around the house filming, and so kids get home and he's like, "Yay, things moving, go!" And he sends us on our bikes and puts us in the street, which is great. We live on a cul-de-sac, and so there's not really traffic, and so we're out and we're biking around, and I've been at the beach, and so I'm wearing like my bright blue Smurf bathing suit with my high top sneakers and my helmet, of course, because my parents are safe. And I'm a slightly precocious 5-year-old, and I'm riding around, and my dad is videotaping my sister and I, and you can hear in the video me going, "Look, Dad, no hands." And my mom saying, "Sweetie, no, don't do that. You're going to hurt yourself." And I'm, because I'm a little cheeky, "No, I won't, Mom." And then you hear a screech and a scream, and then like the chaos of a dad who doesn't know how to use a video camera as he like pans over to his 5-year-old on the sidewalk, face kind of in the curb and chin slightly torn apart and missing because I've got like a rock that got caught in the front tire and stopped the front tire. And
we're our house guests. And so I said, well, I'm going to make the Rotel cheese dip for the Christmas Eve party. So I had everything all set, and I had the double boiler melting the cheese, and I'm getting ready to go upstairs to get dressed in my special city outfit. And I was carrying my boots, and fortunately I had my glasses on, and I said, I'll just stir the Rotel cheese dip. Well, what had happened is my sister had turned up the heat to super high, and all of the water from the bottom of the boiler had boiled out. And so the second I scraped the top, the cold air hit the cheese dip, and it exploded all over my face, hot cheese. And I was, and I was like upstairs with the, and my sister said it blew her out of her boots. And so I spent the whole Christmas with a flayed aloe leaf on my head with a beautiful cap, despising it.
Something called an endoscopy. I said, does that mean down at this end? No, he says, we put a camera down your throat, and it looks around inside to see if there's anything there that should be there. And I said, well, how large is this camera, doctor? He says, oh, it's very tiny. It's teeny tiny. So then when I went in, and I said to the nurse, oh, silly me, I was thinking that the camera would be maybe the size of a Polaroid or something like that. And he said, oh, no, it's small. I said, well, it's very small. He said, no, it's the size of a hot dog. I said, I can't possibly swallow a hot dog. And then he showed it to me. It was the size of a Fenway Frank. I said, you can't put that inside me. I can barely swallow pills as it is. I said, don't worry, we give you Demerol. I said, Demerol, what's that? It's a waking anesthetic. You won't feel a thing. I said, look, couldn't you, like in the picture I saw 1966, Fantastic Voyage, couldn't you, like, miniaturize the camera? Because they took a whole submarine and they miniaturized it to the size. It was really tiny, and they managed to fit Raquel Welch in there. And you know how big Raquel Welch is. If you could get her there, couldn't you give me the miniaturized...